Okay, so get ready for this. We are diving deep, deep into Sabaa Tahir's Heir.
Ooh, Heir.
Yes. And we've got excerpts.
Okay.
And let me tell you, even these little snippets have got me like completely hooked, and I need to know more. We're talking assassins riding these ships that are powered by magic.
Cool.
And these ancient oaths that just bind people together in these crazy ways they never expected.
That's so awesome. It's like, what I love about these excerpts is that you just dive right in, you know? It's not just the plot points. It's like you're right there in this world of like clashing cultures, these characters making these crazy decisions.
Right.
And power, just like raw power, you know?
Yeah, and it's not even just like ruling an empire power. There's like this magic power too.
I for sure.
And the characters are so intriguing. Like right off the bat, we meet Aiz.
Yeah.
And she is a Kegari assassin, but she's so much more than just like a killer. You know what I mean? She's driven by this need for revenge against this commander, Tyrell.
Right.
But you can tell there's like a whole backstory there.
Yeah, there's so much depth to her. And what I found really fascinating was her connection to Mother Div.
Yes.
Like, you know, this revered figure, almost mythical in Kegari culture.
Yeah.
And Aiz discovers this hidden ninth sacred tale about Mother Div, which just like makes you question everything you thought you knew about this figure who's supposedly benevolent. Right. It's like there's this whole other side to the story we haven't even glimpsed yet.
Okay, so we've got Aiz, but then there's Quil.
Yeah.
And he's this prince
who
has to flee his empire like as it's crumbling around him.
Oh, yeah.
Right. You'd think he'd be all about getting his power back, but then he falls for Sirsha.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And she's this Jaduna tracker from this completely different world.
Like, talk about star-crossed lovers, right?
Yeah, like forbidden romance, for sure.
And then on top of that, they're bound by this Jaduna oath, the Ada.
The Ada, yeah.
It's not a choice. It's like destiny. And it's not just some formality either.
Right.
It creates this physical link between them.
What?
Yeah, there's like the silver chain that intensifies their emotions. Can you imagine?
Wow.
You're tied to the person you're falling for.
Oh, my goodness.
But then every time you fight, it's like,
oh, gosh.
everything's magnified.
I can't even imagine.
Intense?
And Sirsha, I mean...
Oh, she's amazing.
She's not just like a love interest, you know?
No, not at all.
She's bound by this super dangerous oath to hunt down this killer.
Yeah.
And then she finds out it's not even human.
Yeah, it's like, whoa.
It's something connected to this place called the Oakel, the Sea of Suffering. I mean, the name itself is terrifying.
I know. It just sends chills down your spine. And then there's Mother Div.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like the excerpts, they show she's not just some sweet storyteller. You know, she feeds on suffering. And it's like she might be using Aiz to achieve this dark goal.
Wow.
So it makes you wonder, is she really a savior?
Right.
Or is she something much more sinister?
Yeah, like is she leading her people to freedom?
Yeah.
Or is this something else?
Exactly.
Okay, and then on top of all of this, you have the Kegari and the Marshals.
Oh, yeah. Two completely different cultures.
Clashing, yes.
Yeah, and it's so interesting how they see the world so differently.
And get this, the Kegari, their ships, powered by magic.
Ooh.
And the Marshals have no idea.
That's crazy. It makes you think about how, you know, technology, or in this case magic, can be used to, like, dominate others.
Oh, totally.
The excerpts don't actually say who wins the war.
Right.
But it's obvious both sides have paid a heavy price.
Yeah.
And with Mother Div's true nature being revealed...
Oh, my gosh.
The stakes are even higher than just territory, you know?
Totally. And we haven't even talked about Quil having magic.
Oh, I know. That's huge, especially for a marshal.
Right. And what about his connection to Sirsha through the Ada?
Yeah.
And the fact that her sister is like this super powerful Jaduna magic user.
It's like every page turn just reveals another layer of this world.
It's amazing.
It's incredible. It really is. These excerpts feel like these puzzle pieces.
Oh, yeah.
Hinting at this bigger, maybe even darker picture. And we're just left with all these questions about these characters, their motivations, and what their choices will mean for the fate of their world.
I know. I'm dying to know what happens next.
Me too. It's like just when you think it can't get more complicated.
Right.
Turns out, Quil, you know, the prince, is supposed to hate magic. He actually has magic himself.
Wait. Whoa, hold on. So he's falling for a Jaduna whose entire culture is basically built on magic.
Right.
But he's been taught to fear it his whole life.
Exactly.
Like, this changes everything. I mean, what does this mean for him?
It's huge.
Not just as, like, a person, but as a leader, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Could this be, like, the bridge between these two cultures?
Maybe.
Or will it completely destroy it?
I mean, it's a fascinating paradox. He has all this power.
Right.
But he's been taught to reject it. And it's not just some theoretical thing for him either. It's like tied directly to his love for Sirsha and uniting their people.
Oh, the pressure.
Intense.
Talk about pressure.
Yeah.
This aid oath. It's not just some promise they make.
Yeah.
It's like...
It's this physical link.
Right. Like this silver chain.
Yes. And it gets like tighter, hotter even.
Oh my gosh.
Depending on their emotions. So everything's magnified.
Wow. That's intense.
Super intense.
I mean, can love even?
Right. Makes you think about like those relationships where every fight feels like the end of the world, but like amplified by magic.
Oh God.
It's crazy. Can love even bloom when it's forced on you like that?
Yeah. Are they destined to just constantly be at odds, even though they're literally bound together?
Oh, totally. And then there's Eyes, and she discovers this 9th sacred tale.
Oh yeah, about Mother Div. It's like
finding a hidden chapter that just like reframes the whole story.
Right. Like suddenly she's not so benevolent.
Yeah, she becomes so much more complicated. You start to question everything.
Her motives, her actions, like...
Yeah. Is she really fighting for her people?
Or is it something else entirely?
It's like peeling back the layers of an onion, and each layer is just...
Oh my God.
Darker and darker.
Yeah. It's like good and evil aren't so clear-cut anymore.
No.
And even the people fighting for what seems like a just cause might have these ulterior motives.
Exactly.
Yeah. And the excerpts, they hint at this dark history behind Mother Div's transformation, right? It sounds like she was betrayed and imprisoned in this horrifying place, like a place of unending death.
It's brutal.
You can't go through something like that
and
not be changed.
Right. No. It makes you wonder if her quest for revenge is maybe clouding her judgment, even twisting her into something she never wanted to be.
Like, is the end justifying the means?
Right, yeah. Is it okay to do terrible things?
Yeah.
If you think it's going to lead to something good.
That's the question.
Mother Div's story really makes you think about that.
Totally. And it's like this theme of suffering that's woven through everything. Mother Div feeds on it.
Right.
This creature that Sirsha's hunting thrives on it.
Yeah.
The world itself feels heavy with it.
It's like, is suffering unavoidable?
Right. Like, is it just part of life?
Yeah, or is it a consequence of the choices these characters are making?
That's where the whole fate versus free will thing comes in. Like, are they destined to suffer?
Right.
Or can they actually break free from these cycles of violence and revenge?
Because Eyes, she's consumed by vengeance.
Right.
And Quil is torn between his duty and his love for Sirsha.
And Sirsha's struggling to fulfill her oath without sacrificing her own happiness.
They're all caught in this web.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating to see how they navigate it.
And I love how Tahir brings the world to life, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Like, from bustling cities like Navium to the Tor prison.
Right.
To even the Devanese forest. Yeah. Like, each location feels so real.
And it's immersive.
Yeah, like you could just dip right into it. And then there's the Oakel.
Ooh, yeah.
This mysterious sea that's like outside the boundaries of everything they know.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what other secrets are out there. Totally. Yeah. The world building is so rich.
Right.
You can practically feel the sand between your toes as you journey with these characters.
Yes.
And Tahir doesn't shy away from the harsh realities of things either.
Right.
You see the devastation, the suffering, the internal struggles. It's not romanticized at all. It's raw.
But there's still hope, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Like you see Quil's compassion, Sirsha's loyalty, and Inez's determination. It's like you can't help but root for them.
Yeah. Even when it seems like all is lost.
Yeah.
It's that human element, that resilience that really draws you in.
It's like even in the darkest times, there's still potential for love, for connection.
For sure. It makes these excerpts so compelling.
Yeah. And it feels like anything could happen. Like these characters, they have the power to change things.
They have agency.
Yes. But their choices have these real consequences.
Oh, yeah. And with all these unanswered questions.
Right. What is the found? What happens when they face their destiny?
You just want to keep reading to find out what happens.
Exactly.
I'm hooked.
I know. It's like Tahir has given us this glimpse into this world full of mystery and intrigue, and then left us wanting more.
I need to know more.
I know.
And it's like each of them has this little piece of the puzzle, like a clue to what's really going on. But no one has the whole picture.
No one knows the full story yet.
And then there's this big question hanging over everything, right?
Yeah. Can anyone actually break free from these cycles of violence and revenge?
Oh, that's a good question.
Because it feels like they're tearing this world apart.
It's interesting because the excerpts, they seem to suggest that maybe the answer lies in the connections they're trying to escape.
Oh.
Like, think about it. The Ada Oath, it forces Quil and Sirsha to confront their differences, to work together, and Aiz, her loyalty to Mother Div, makes her question everything. It's like these bonds, even when they're painful, might be the key to something bigger.
It's like they need each other to really understand what's going on.
You need each other to see, to understand.
And the stakes are huge. We're talking like the fated empires.
Right.
This balance between magic and technology.
Oh, yeah.
And just like humanity surviving against these beings from the Anawakel.
It's intense.
It makes you wonder if Tahir's saying that true strength comes from not isolation, but from connection.
From understanding, yeah.
And embracing our connections with people who seem different than us.
Which is so powerful, especially now when everything feels so divided.
Oh, yeah. And it makes me want to read Heir even more. Like to see how they deal with all of this. We've seen Aiz and Quil changing.
Right.
But what about Sirsha? Can she even survive being tied to
that Mother Div?
The Mother Div.
Who feeds off of suffering.
And what happens when she sees her sister again?
Oh, that's going to be intense.
Because we know that's coming, right?
Gotta be.
It's like these excerpts are just a glimpse, a taste of this huge story.
Right.
That's going to be epic, but also really personal.
I think so, yeah.
We're left with all these questions.
So many questions.
And a need to know more.
It's like Tahir has created this world and these characters that just stay with you.
It's amazing.
It really is.
So if you're looking for a fantasy novel that will challenge you, make you think, and leave you wanting more,
definitely check out Heir.
Heir by Sabaa Tahir.
It's going to be good.
I can't wait to read it.
I do.
Well, that's it for our deep dive today. Thanks for listening.
It was fun.
Until next time.